Welcome to Positive African News. I'm your host, Alima. Please stay tuned to hear the latest positive news happening on our continent. Our first story that I'm bringing you today hails from the beautiful archipelago country in Western Africa, an island known as Cape Verde, Cap Verde, Cabo Verde. There's so many names that it goes by. So Cape Verde announced recently that it is the fourth African country to completely eliminate malaria. It is the 44th country in the world to claim this status. According to various sources, our beautiful continent is known to have very high malaria cases. And just to add, the other African countries who have announced malaria free status would include Algeria, Mauritius, and Morocco. So, 2 out of the 10 archipelagos that make up Cape Verde were basically had the concentrated cases of malaria. These islands' name were Boa Vista and Santiago, but since 2017, they have reported no malaria cases. So, this is great for their tourism. Their economy heavily relies on it. And as of now, 2 vaccines have been approved by WHO, aka the World Health Organization, last year for malaria. One is called the R21 Matrix M, and the other one is called the RTSS. So this basically got approved in 2021. So perhaps they're are trying to work on ways to distribute it. You know, COVID stopped a lot of things, but this is great to hear for Cape Verde, as, like I said, a lot of people globally like to visit this beautiful country. So I'm pretty sure they're happy that this would make people feel a little bit more safe and better visiting their country. So congratulations, Cape Verde. Definitely look forward to visiting your beautiful country. Our next story that we're sharing is coming from the Horn of Africa, with their beautiful countries and cultures as well. So, Ethiopia and Somaliland have struck a coastline deal. This deal grants Ethiopia access to Somaliland's coast. Ethiopia and the breakaway region of Somaliland, they reached their agreement. They gave Addis Ababa, which is the capital of Ethiopia, access to their Red Sea through the port of Berbera in exchange for recognizing Somaliland's independence. So I would advise you to please do more background research on this story. At some point, Somaliland broke away from the country of Somalia due to political issues. A lot of the time, this is also dealing with ethnic identity issues as well. I am bringing forth the positive aspect of this. So, upon looking at that map, or that side of the map of the African continent, I also see that Ethiopia has more access to the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Indian Ocean. Ethiopia is currently landlocked as they have their own political strife with Eritrea. Like I said, this a lot has to do with ethnic groups and things like that when it comes to the African continent. Eritrea has access to the ocean, which unfortunately Ethiopia doesn't. So I'm hoping that egos don't clash and that we continue to see positive relations between different countries on the African continent, because it usually deals with colonialism and ethnic conflict. So wishing this whole region luck, peace, and prosperity. And like I said, I would encourage you to look into the background between Ethiopia and Eritrea, Somaliland and Somalia, and Ethiopia and Somalia. We are living in a totally different time now, and it is apparent with what's going on around us. This is evident in the story of South Africa taking their information to The Hague at the UN Court of Justice. So The Hague is located in Netherlands, Europe. And they want to inform that court of Israeli injustices, including genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. So far, Bangladesh, which is a country located in Southeast Asia, they are stating that they're willing to intervene as a third party defense, and so far as the only country to do so. The Namibian government, or the country of Namibia, located in South Africa as well, or Southern Africa, has also issued a statement of support. There is a history between Israel in South Africa that has left a very sour taste in the South Africans' mouth. And this is related to the apartheid government, in which it is said that the Israeli government gave arms to the apartheid government of South Africa to uphold their government and their regime. So the final verdict in this case could take many years, but this act alone is actually pretty brave, and it's pretty monumental because the West supports Israel. I would encourage you to do background research on Israel and Palestinian ties, Israel ties to the South African apartheid regime. And let me just say that I support, and Positive African News supports the people. I am not taking sides here. And it's very sad that innocent lives are lost in any type of global conflict going on. The fourth story being covered is about the Total Energies African Cup of Nations that's currently going on, aka known as AFCON. So this started on January 13th of this year, 2024. Cote d'Ivoire, the West African nation, or aka Ivory Coast, is hosting this year. The first game happened between Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea-Bissau. And Cote d'Ivoire won 2. It was a 2-0 game, basically. And I would like to inform you about some of the countries playing. Let me just make it clear, I'm not mentioning all, and I will give you the information of where to find out where all the countries are playing. So far as Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Cape Verde, Congo, DR, Morocco, Tanzania, Zambia, Namibia, to name a few of the many. I would encourage you to go to CAF Online, and you can see information about the matchups and the participating countries. So, I'm going to be having my Gambia. I'm looking for my Gambia jersey right now, my Liberia jersey, even though I'm not quite sure if they're participating, Senegal. But yes, you can look online also to purchase your jerseys. But CAF Online, aka CAF Online, is the website to go to find out more specifics about the matches and things like that. So let's support our African players. I got our final story of today from africanews.com, which states that Henley and Partners unveiled the 2024 rankings for world's most influential passports. They utilize data from the International Air Transport Association, aka IATA, their data. So this list reflects passport strengths through visa-free access to countries, okay? And let me just say that these type of lists are always subjective. So it is a situation where you would have to go based off of your own experience, because these are subjective experiences. People have their own backgrounds and things that they bring to these type of lists. So the first African country is in the 26th place, which is the Seychelles, which has 156 destinations that are accessible without visas. The 53rd place to find on the list was the first continental African country, which is South Africa. So Seychelles, I believe I did a story about them on one of my past episodes. Is actually an island off of the Indian Ocean, which is on the kind of closer to the eastern part of the continent. And there was also a list that was compiled of the 10 most powerful passports in Africa, which would be Seychelles with 156 visits, Mauritius with 150, South Africa with 108, Botswana with 80, Lesotho and Namibia, and Eswatini with 78, Kenya and Malawi with 76, and Tanzania with 73. Once again, I'm going to mention that this list is subjective because I personally saw a trend in it, but I would encourage people to travel throughout the continent. And we are pro Africa on this channel, and we are supporting a unified currency on the continent, and we are also supporting visa-free status throughout the continent. So in the future, it is very possible, and I foresee it. So travel to these countries mentioned, but also travel throughout the continent to get a better feel of the various countries and cultures and ethnic traditions and religions. That is the last story for today. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Take care.